He has 10 million listeners, so it's getting out there bad. But the thing I wanted to say is we should start a manifesto. Almost any big organization starts a manifesto against the banksters, and our logo should be the guillotine. And we should sort of get cutouts and paste, and then basically spray paint it on the sides of their cars when they're not in the car, so they get the idea that we're after their butts.
Very well said. We are after their butts. Anything else, sir?
No, that's it. But I just want to let you know it's getting out there, and it's spreading. I monitor all types of radio stations from left to right, and I'm just amazed how all different aspects you're talking about are exploding across the spectrum. So it's about over. But when everybody's talking about it, it's about over. But also one other thing, I took a survey for...
Stay there, George, and then JB, Matt, we'll obviously have to do 5 minutes of mini overdrive so I can get everybody in. Folks can, of course, catch that at prisonplanet.tv. But the final 5 minutes of official transmission straight ahead. Stay with us.
What would you do with a check for $25,000? What if you could eliminate all of your credit card debt in 90 days and keep all of your money? Hi, I'm Jason Davenport, and I've just completed ZeroDebt100.com, a program that stops and prevents debt collections of all kinds, including debt collectors and foreclosures, with guaranteed results. Forget loan modification. Zero Debt showed me how to get the banks to pay my property taxes and insurance while stopping my foreclosure without paying one dime. An attorney tried to garnish my wages, but the court denied his request because of what I filed from the Zero Debt program. Find out how I did this by calling Zero Debt today at 800-477-9256. Tell them Jason sent you and ask for the Zero Debt special and the free bonus promotion about stopping an IRS levy and getting your money back. Tell them Jason sent you and call 800-477-9256. 800-477-9256. That's 800-477-9256 or visit www.zerodebt100.com.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
I have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
Will I have garlic breath after I take Ali-C?
We get that question all the time about the world's best garlic extract, Ali-C. And the answer is, Ali-C contains stabilized allicin, nature's antimicrobial agent, and the active ingredient in crushed garlic, but will not give you garlic breath. Scientifically proven in double-blind studies, using low doses of allicin greatly reduces the number, severity, and duration of common colds. Our powerful Ali-C contains 300 milligrams of stabilized allicin. Just one tablet of Ali-C is equivalent to 40 garlic cloves. It's effective against asthma, MRSA, bacterial, fungal, and viral infections, and helps lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Plus, it's a natural mosquito repellent. Boosts resistance to infection with nature's best garlic extract, Ali-C. For more information and to order Ali-C, call 877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com. That's 877-888-7126 or garlichealthproducts.com. Fight back with Ali-C.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We were going to have a report from Aaron Dykes and Rob Jacobson down at the Capitol, but they were set to vote, and they have near unanimous in the House and the Senate just didn't show up. Most of the senators aren't there. It's the middle of an emergency session. They usually go to midnight, and so the feds had threatened a bunch of stuff last night, and so the traitorous Texas Senate, again, doesn't want to be politically on record, so they're trying to run out the clock on the special session. But it's not going to stop. The TSA is going to keep groping little kids and sticking their hands down Miss USA's pants. I kept saying Miss America. It's Miss USA, two different things. And I think it's good what the tyrants are doing because it's going to wake America up and the rest of the world. Let's go back now to George in Connecticut. George, you brought up the point, and I monitor talk radio. I have the unique position to be well known from being on a lot of national TV and internet and all that, to where people know me. So they'll actually say, hey, I know what's going on, and it's a lot of people, respond. It's kind of a radar or sonar ping, but you're saying you hear the same thing, and I hear it on talk radio. People are now really starting to get that it's mega corporations that aren't free market that control both parties. Bob Chapman, that's very exciting.
It certainly is, because this is the genesis of the whole thing. Corporatist fascism from the very beginning. I think that Europe was a trial run for what we're seeing today. And they control, as you said, both houses, Wall Street banking, corporate America, transnational corporations, the law enforcement agencies, and it just goes on and on.
And it's going to be their arrogance will be their undoing. I want to go to JB and Matt, but George, you were talking about a survey when we went to break?
Yes, I got a survey in my email. I think it was Newsweek, and I did the survey, and it turned out Ron Paul turned out to be 61.3% of all questioners who answered the thing picked Ron Paul. And I found that amazing because on all the conservative radio stations I listened to yesterday, not one of them even mentioned him as a viable candidate.
No. There's a talking point. Monitoring 3 local shows this morning, San Antonio and Austin, I heard them all say, sorry to tell you, Ron Paul's not viable. He's struggling to even be relevant when he's winning almost every poll. It's a total hoax. There's a talking point. These people are scum.
Well, it was also on the left wing NPR. I was listening this morning, and I actually called them up and wanted to bring this point up because they didn't even mention him as a Republican viable candidate, and they said, "Oh, we don't want to talk about that."
Yeah, Rockefeller Radio wouldn't let you on. God bless you. No, I know, and it doesn't matter though. Ron Paul's hitting the barbed wire. Don't be mad if he doesn't win. He wins in the arena of ideas. Let's jam in. Let's jam in JB and Tejas. JB, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead.
Jones, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I'd like to say I appreciate everything you're doing. In Houston here, 55.4 Mikasa Broadcasting is playing all of your documentaries and all your films and everything.
What channel is that, sir?
That's 55.4 in Houston, Texas. Mikasa Broadcasting. And every night they played the Aaron Rousseau interview, they played the End Game, they played 9/11, they played the one about the monetary policy.
What is 55.4? I didn't. Is that AM?
Well, that's a digital station, a TV. The new TV
digital
station.
TV. Yeah.
And they play the entire film and they let it roll.
Something's going on because all over the country, L.A., California, Massachusetts, Texas, I've had family, friends, people in Tyler say mainline TV, like ABC is playing this show. So there are a lot of little silent people out there who are regionally getting the word out, Bob. I'm telling you, the revolution's in full swing.
It certainly is, and we just got to work harder, and we're going to win. We're going to win big.
JB, I want to hear a little bit more from you. We'll have time for you to finish up, and then Matt, back in 1 minute, internet only, prisonplanet.tv, the Infowars.com streams. The main radio show is over. See you back Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Great job with the crew. We'll be back internet only for 5 minutes to finish your calls with Bob.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
The folks at eFoods Direct have saved you from the huge price increases on food by buying raw materials ahead and packing your supplies themselves. They haven't increased their prices on great long-term food reserves since last year. With the rising cost of raw materials and gas prices, they can't hold off any longer. As of July 1st, eFoods Direct is forced to increase their prices so they can still ship you the best storable food on the planet. Until the end of June, you can lock in the cost of your food at last year's prices by calling 800-409-5633. Your time is running out to build your supply with the best food on the planet at last year's prices with eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633. Prices go up at the end of June. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
All right, final 5 minutes, and then I'll be back this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. I'm strongly considering having the Sunday show go to 3 hours. Because if I'm going to come in here, why am I doing 2 hours on Sunday? The stations want 3 hours. But I'm digressing into points that don't even matter. I promise you Sunday, I'm going to be covering this big mainline study about American babies dying from the vaccines. This really scares the system. Headline, new study finds direct link between vaccines and infant mortality. Very important to get that article out to everybody. JB and then Matt with Bob Chapman right now. JB, is that the only point you had, that we're on this digital TV station down in Houston?
Well, I can't say enough about them doing it. It's Mi Casa Broadcasting. It's a Spanish station, and they only talk English. It's a very breakthrough station. It's out of sight, and your films are very, very illuminating and extremely scary to my friends watching it. They go, I can't believe this is coming true. And I said, well, look at this 9/11. Look at this Endgame. Look at this film. They just freak out, totally freak out. They can't believe it.
Yeah, it's there's another fellow who owns a business network down there that's on cable there, but also other parts of the world. And I know they air my stuff down there, and that's how it spreads. I don't think that's the same person, but so many great people. But I'm telling you, I'm getting calls now and emails all over the country going, the nightly news just ended, and American Idol didn't come on. It was today's TV show off the web, cut up, commercial free for 3 hours. I mean, this stuff's pouring in. Bob, this is how revolutions of ideas really happen. People have got it. They know what's happening. The establishment's going to ignore it, but just that this is happening with my show. Imagine what else is going on, Bob Chapman.
It's exhilarating. And that's why we have to keep on plugging, all of us, all the listeners. You got to spread the word, let the world know the truth of what's going on. That's all we need. That's all we need.
Well, I'll tell you what's really exhilarating is I don't want to die. I'm willing to die if they kill me or set me up, but it's not fun. I like living. And the fact that there's so many targets and so many leaders and so many well-spoken people now, Bob, they're not going to be able to shut us down. Nothing's going to stop us if we realize we're going to win.
That's right, and we want thousands more
to be leaders.
Then I can retire and play golf every day.
Oh, I love that, man, I tell you. Thank you so much, JB. Good to hear that report. We'll look into it. What's cool is I keep looking into these reports, and they're true. Matt in Ohio, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex and Bob. Thanks for taking my call. One point and then your comments on that. Personally, I think that the TSA issue is a ready-made issue to spring someone like Ron Paul into the presidency. I think if he took a strong stance against it, something like, my first order of business as president would be to enforce the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, we're probably talking to Ron Paul tomorrow. Next week, and during the breaks, I could probably get a hold of him privately as well. I'm going to say, look, you're great, you're awesome, but he does 10 million interviews, but then is very calm in them. He needs to get angry. People love it when he does it. He needs to attack. Is that what you're saying? He needs to call out. He does call out the tyranny, but he needs to get hardcore. Is that what you're saying?
Well, basically just to take a stance. If he said, the first thing I would do 10 minutes after getting elected, I'd walk into the Oval Office, I'd place a call over to Janet Napolitano, and I would end this tyranny in our airports, I think he'd get elected. Because so many people are sick and tired of the TSA, and the president has full authority to stop with a single phone call.
Absolutely.
No one else will do it.
Absolutely.
No one else will go on record to do that. If he did that, I think he would win. That's my thought.
No, you brought up a great point. You got the last 30 seconds. We need to really... Ron Paul is being hardcore, but I think he needs to be even more hardcore. What do you think, Bob?
I think you're right. He has to get a little vicious.
I mean, we have the capability to be vicious verbally for a reason.
That's right. We want to save the country and probably save the world in the process.
Yeah, they're always telling us, don't be extreme, don't be angry, because that's what works, folks. Okay, that's what works. Bob, God willing, we'll see you next Friday in the third hour. Thank you, Bob Chapman.
For centuries, silver has been used as a powerful natural antibiotic, and as a listener to this station, you probably already know the benefits of using colloidal silver. With so many websites to choose from, finding a reputable, patriotic company with great products at affordable prices can be a difficult task. Introducing Utah